Hello everyone, I welcome you here again. So today we have Miss Akanksha Aggarwal with us. So hello ma'am.
Hello sir.
So ma'am is assistant professor currently at Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. So ma'am, we want to start with your academic journey first. Please tell us.
Yes sir. So I have done my BCom from Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, where I'm teaching right now. And I did MBA in Jaipur from Banasthali Vidyapeeth. So after I finished my MBA, I actually wanted to do PhD, and I was looking for colleges, and like the standard of education here in Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning is very good. So I wanted to do my PhD also from the same institute. So then like I inquired about PhD position, but nothing was open at that point of time. So assistant professor position post was open. So I got lucky that way, and I applied for it. And since then, like from 2013, I've been into teaching field. I have taught to BCom, BBA, and MBA students various subjects in commerce and management. So uh, that's how it has been. Then I enrolled in my PhD in 2019. So yeah, so I'm doing my research in sustainable consumption. That is a consumer behavior related, marketing related area where I'm doing my research in. I'm doing my PhD from the same institute, and I'm also teaching. I'm a full-time professor.
Okay, that's wonderful. So these days, lot of scholars and lot of research is happening in the sustainability, topic related topics. Correct, na? So,
Yes,
ma'am,
yes.
so Akanksha ma'am is also a reviewer. So she has a teaching experience as well as a reviewing experience. So you wanna share something about the reviewing, ma'am? What are the points a reviewer looks for? You wanna share something?
Okay, so I have written papers and I have received review for my paper, and I have also reviewed other people's paper. So what happens generally is one is the structure of the paper, which is being looked at. So for example, like abstract is something which everybody is going to read. So the editor, the reviewer, the your general audience, even if someone has to decide whether I should read this paper or I should not read this paper, they will read your abstract and your title. So to be able to arrive at a decision as to what falls in my area and what does not fall in my area. So your title and your abstract is like really important. So that has to be written very well. Like your title should address exactly what you have researched about. It should be talking about the variables under the study. It should be talking about the participants under the study. It should be talking about the analysis methods used in the study. So that is how title, and always like we should always start with a working title, because it will, even for our research, it will keep us focused. It will not allow us to deviate from our research. So that's why a title is very important. Then second thing is the abstract. Abstract has to be uh, it the best way to write a abstract is in the format of emerald journals. So they have a specified format where you write about one line on introduction about your topic. Then you write about the variables that you are using under the study, what sample group was tested, and what kind of methodology you have, like qualitative or quantitative. So you speak about that. Then you speak about what are the findings from your research, and you also speak about how this research, what is the purpose of this research, how is this research going to contribute, whom is this going to be useful for. Many people do not include that part in the abstract. So if we do not include that part into the abstract, whom it is useful for, and the audience is actually reading the abstract to decide whether it is useful for me or not. So until you can explicitly tell them that this research is useful for you, then it will not reach to the people to whom you have done the entire hard work for. So abstract is something, and editors, they decide whether the paper is going to undergo the review process or not based on the abstracts. So because abstract will talk to the editor that this is what this paper is about, and most of the papers get desk rejected. We all have experienced it. I had written one paper in 2018, which has got published in 2022. And for these 3 years, I have only been receiving rejections. That was the first paper of my life. And it is very difficult process, like to get rejection. And I was like going on LinkedIn and I was, checking it out. And I saw that even professors at IIM have, faced these kind of rejections. You will get like 10 rejections, and before one acceptance come for a paper. So then that's when I started digging into it, that why is it not undergoing a review process? Why is it getting desk rejected? And that's when I understood that this is your abstract and your introduction, which talks to the editor, which tells how your research is important or how your research is contributing, how it is a novel work that we have done. And that is something where we have to, sell our work to the editor for him to get convinced that yes, this work should go a review process. Then once it comes to review, then as a reviewer, we can accept the paper, we can reject the paper, or we can give minor revisions, or we can give major revisions. Generally, if it goes to review process, nobody rejects a paper. So it does not mean that there are no chances of paper getting rejected, but yes, like more or less, we might receive a minor or a major correction. It is very less likely that there may be no revision required and your paper might get accepted as is. That's only that's even with best of the researchers, they receive critical feedback and review on their papers. So then it might be a minor revision or a major revision. So major revisions are like, your analysis might not be correct, or there may be problem with your data collection. You might have research bias, or you might not have validity of the research might not be there, something like that, or theoretical background is missing. So such things can cause major revisions. Or there might be like for my one of my papers I received, like I need to tighten my introduction because that's the starting point that catches the interest of a reader into the paper. So I had to improve my introduction, and like I had written it more generally. So I had to like pack it up with more of literature review, and I had to have a lot of citations into my introduction. So that is what I was advised to. So then I worked on it, and then like throughout the paper, everything was fine. And then towards the end, they said I had conclusion. They asked me to include future research possible in this area and limitations of my research. So that is what they asked me to add to the uh, existing thing. Similarly, like the paper which I received for revision, I found a lot of grammatical and English related errors. So I actually suggested them to make those changes. Plus, uh, any theoretical backing up was missing.
Okay.
This person had like huge data which they have picked up from database, and it comes from like some 28 countries or something. And so it was a very good like work, as it looked like generalizable results, because it's been picked up from 28 countries. It was a solid research, but then they did not have any theoretical uh, underpinning attached to it as to how and what they are doing, and which literature supports it. So there was validity issue. So then I asked them to revise it, and then now they have added theoretical background uh, as a part of their paper, and it has gone through.
Okay. Okay, that's wonderful. Wonderful. Very well explained, ma'am. So,
Thank you.
because a lot of scholars, they forget, or they by mistake they miss the theoretical underpinnings. So this
Yes,
is a
sir.
very good thing you have explained, and about the importance of the abstract. So, what do you say about the qualitative or quantitative? Which kind of submissions happens more?
So, so far, quantitative papers were more acceptable, and because they were more valid, and they had data backed up. But these days, like there is so much research happening, especially during COVID times. India's research has increased a lot, and India has come among top 3 countries producing research papers. So, in terms of number of research papers produced. So, given that a lot of research is happening now, journals, best of the journals are calling for review papers. They are saying that the research has happened, and what we need to do is we need to consolidate and compile this research and put things together, and then we need to synthesize the information which is already available, and we need to advance the field of knowledge
Okay.
by uh, doing review. So a lot of different types of systematic literature reviews, many kind of themes have come into systematic literature review, like meta-analysis, TCCM framework, ADO framework. So a hybrid, then theory-based framework. There are like a lot of methods in systematic literature review which can be followed. So review papers are welcomed these days very much. I have seen like some professors doing a lot of bibliometric review also. Uh, but I don't know how it adds to the body of knowledge. I think it's good for editors to do it for their journals. But other than bibliometric review, I feel all other reviews are very good way of advancing the knowledge existing in the field. And for a new researcher to start with, also a review systematic review is a very good base, because they can collect all the data and they can go through entire process, so it will ensure that they are going through a comprehensive review before they land at a research gap, and before they start conducting research on the research gap, so they can actually get a right gap which is much called out by various journals, and this will help in easy publication also if a review paper is done. Other than that, because quantitative research methods are done a lot, uh, the industry is welcoming qualitative research papers also, because such kind of methodologies are less done. Even in review papers, when we are doing SLR, we get to know that many people have done quantitative research, many people have done structural equation modeling, they have done regression analysis, correlation, t-testing. So there is very less research in qualitative, sorry. So interviews, or observational studies, or experimental methodology, such kind of research exists less. So for someone who is doing PhD, since they have like more time at hand purely for research, they can explore these kind of research methodologies as they bring something new to the table, and all journals today welcome it.
Okay, okay, that's wonderful. So, ma'am, what happens is lot of scholars are not aware about which kind of journals are the good journal. So it is said that Scopus or maybe ABDC listed journals are good one. It's a recognized one. So do you want to share some light on it?
Yes, sir. So, according to my limited knowledge, that too, like restricting to the field of management, there are several lists which are available. So, for example, in government universities, they prefer something called as UGC Care list. So, this list is available on Savitribai Pune University platform, where whatever journals are listed on UGC Care, they are considered good, and many universities ask researchers to follow that list and publish based on that list. So in that list, there is list A, group 1, and group 2. So group 1 has a lot of Indian and international journals, and group 2 has journals on Scopus and Web of Science. So those lists are there. So one is we can use this UGC list, we can publish papers, but in the field of management, there are better lists than this. Like there is ABDC list, like you said, Australian Business Deans Council list. So this has recently undergone a review, and 2022 list is now available to us. So where all the IIMs and good institutes follow this ABDC list. So there are a list of journals which are there, and we can just download this list and we can just look for them in our field. Like for me, if I just type consumer, I will get journals like Journal of Consumer Psychology, Journal of Consumer Behavior. So I will get a list of journals in consumer behavior area, and then I can consider these journals. So they are again A-rated journals, B-rated journals, C-rated journals, D-rated journals. So for my reading, I feel that we should only read A-rated journal papers, and so that we can produce content like B or C up to rated journal. So to begin with, so that is my aim. I should be able to publish in a C-rated or a B-rated journal, and I read only A-rated journals. Then there is another list called ABS list, Australian Business School list, where they give ranking based on like 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is the highest ranking, so the best journal will have 4 ranking, and then it reduces. And then for those who are doing research in finance, there is also a list called FT50, Financial Times 50. So they have a list of top 50 journals which they suggest. So this is also a very good list of journals which somebody can follow, and these are all top rated journals, and if we can publish our work in those journals, we will get very good citations, it will have very good impact factor, we will be able to build H index, and so on. So these are good lists of journals.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. So it is advisable that we should cite a very recent paper also. Will that increase the chances of getting accepted? Is that what, ma'am?
Yes, sir. So what I have learned is that we have to cite papers of only last 5 years, because only then we are relevant in our research, and only then we can communicate that we have consolidated whatever is latest, and based on that we are progressing ahead, advancing the existing body of knowledge. Only in case of like theoretical background where you're quoting or citing some theory which is dated back old, so you can have those old citations. Other than that, we should try to have citations of only last 5 years, and it is very important that we should have the latest ones. Like for example, if today I send out a paper, I should have covered up to March 2023 all the papers that are published in this particular topic. So, and these days it's very easy to find them, because a lot of e-databases are available, and it's not really tough to find papers these days.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing all these learning with us. So is there anything else you want to share with all the viewers?
So, sir, I would just say that it is really interesting. Like doing research keeps you very excited all the time, and it is also, a great learning that goes on. We have to learn a lot of things. We learn patience, we learn perseverance, we learn consistency, we learn discipline, and of course we become a subject matter expert. So PhD is a very very interesting journey, which many people do not really recognize that, and they think they will have to study more or something like that. But actually, even more than teaching, I can say that research keeps you very excited. And I feel that, a lot of people, especially with Indian brains, which are like really, innovative and creative, and, they can find ways in very resource constrained things. So they must pursue higher education in, PhD, and they should, publish more research papers, and they should start thinking like a researcher. That's what I would say.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your learning and
Okay,
time
sir.
with all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.